A man and his son were living in a bathroom when someone started pounding on the door. He immediately covered his son's ears and braced his feet against the door. He was 3 months behind on rent and had to hide in the bathroom to avoid his landlord. His car had been towed for unpaid tickets, all because he'd lost his job. Every morning, the man would look for work. When he saw a guy stepping out of a luxury car, he asked what he did for a living. The man said he was a stockbroker. That's when our guy made up his mind. His life was about to change. The next day, he applied for an internship at a brokerage firm, but with no background or experience. He didn't hear back from anyone. Still, he didn't give up. Instead, he waited downstairs every day for the hiring manager. After a month, he finally caught him. Once in the car, he pitched himself hard, but the manager wasn't paying attention. He was playing with a Rubik's Cube and said nobody could solve all 6 sides. To win the manager's trust, the man claimed he could solve it before they arrived. He took the cube and quickly finished the first side, then the second, then the third. The manager looked at him in amazement. He solved the cube with just seconds to spare. The manager was stunned by the completed puzzle, but hurried off. That evening, the landlord said he'd been behind on rent too long and had to move out immediately. The man begged for a few more days and offered to paint the walls to cover the rent. The landlord agreed. Even better, the man finally got a call from the manager inviting him to interview, scheduled for 10:30 a.m. the next morning. But while he was painting, there was a knock at the door. The police told him that due to unpaid parking fees and tickets, even if he paid everything now, he'd have to stay in jail until 9:30 the next morning. His pleas fell on deaf ears. The next morning, the man rushed out of jail, still covered in paint. He made it to the interview, though the boss looked annoyed. The man's skills and humor landed him the internship, but he'd work 6 months without pay, competing with 19 others for one permanent position. So the man arrived at the office first every day, carefully noting everything his supervisor said. He compressed every minute at work, never drinking water during office hours, so he wouldn't need bathroom breaks and wouldn't have to put down the phone. Just hit the hang up button and dial the next number. The man threw everything he had into the job. After 6 months, came the day of the final exam. He nervously turned in his test. The next day his supervisor called him into the office. He was incredibly nervous, but when he heard his boss ask if he'd like to join their team, tears welled up in his eyes as he said yes. He'd waited so long for this moment and been through so much pain. If you're going through tough times right now, don't give up, hang in there a little longer. Success might be just around the corner.